Guys, today I'm going to tell you about 10 countries you can visit which are budget friendly and which does not really require you to do a lot of preparation in terms of visa applications and travel permits. So I will be taking you through 10 beautiful countries which I think you should think about visiting or going in your lifetime. The first one in the list is Georgia. Yeah, Georgia, you can get a visa-free duration for up to 1 year for most nationality, whereby some nationalities could get up to 3 months. Yeah, they are willing to entice you and give you this visa to get you to come to Georgia as many times as possible. And the question is, why visit Georgia? Well, Georgia do not just offer you a stunning, natural landscape, but also an incredible low cost of living. If you consider visiting Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, it has an affordable accommodation which ranges from budget hostels to guest houses from around $10 to $20 per night. That is an incredibly very low amount to spend on a vacation. It's like you're just living down in your local areas, in your homes. So, and again, in Georgia, there are street foods and there are local restaurants which are relatively very cheap, and those meal cost as little as $5 to $8 per meal. So that is relatively very low, and there are benefits that are associated with visiting Georgia. It they have hospitality, high hospitality, and they have very rich culture. With vineyards, ancient churches, and dramatic mountains to explore. A lot of things you can actually have a look at. Okay, and for travelers who are looking to explore the region, like I planned, and I hope I will do this very soon, you could actually go to Azerbaijan or Armenia by bus or by train. So that means that if you find yourself in Georgia, you do not need to make an additional bogus plan. You could actually use the same time to explore going to Azerbaijan, or you go to Armenia just by train or by bus, and it takes you just a few hours and you get that trip done also. So if you're going to Georgia, perhaps you may just try to do Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan at the same time, so that makes your life pretty so beautiful. So that's about Georgia. So travel tips I like to tell you is that a bus or train ride from Georgia capital to Baku, Azerbaijan, can take you around 12 to 15 hours, and it's quite affordable, costing you about $15 to $30 depending on the class of ticket you purchase. So that looks so affordable, and it's something you may want to do, right? And Baku is just very beautiful place to visit in, yeah, so in Azerbaijan. So the next country I would like to explore is Thailand. Yes, Thailand can give you a visa-free stay of up to 30 days, which is extendable by for up to 60 days. I mean, if you want to extend it, but then the question is, why visit Thailand? Thailand is a classic budget-friendly destination. I have a friend who's been to Thailand many times, and he told me a lot of things about Thailand. And after speaking with him, I think now I want to go to Thailand. Yeah, Thailand is in Southeast Asia, and cities like Bangkok, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket are budget traveler friendly with accommodations or hostels that ranges within $5 to $10 per night. In Thailand, what I've noticed about Thailand is that whatever amount you need for Thailand, you will get it. You will get that amount which you need to be in Thailand for a night without spending much money. So that means that it doesn't really matter how much you've got. And to shock you, in Thailand, meal costs about $1 to $3 per meal in local restaurants, and food may cost about $3 to $6 per meal. So if you go to Thailand, you can actually live like a king because it's quite affordable. And there are benefits to go to Thailand, and I can say Thailand is the major hub for Southeast Asia, making it a perfect starting point for budget travelers. If you don't have finances to spend, so a lot of finances to spend, yeah, and from there you can easily get a bus or train to nearby countries like Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. Those are three countries you can actually access through Thailand, and those roads are as cheap as $20 to $40 depending on your destination. So that is quite affordable. And number three country I would like to tell you that you may consider to explore is Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is a very beautiful country, and it has a lot of advantages. For Indonesia, you can get as much as 30 days duration for your visa stay. Free visa duration is up to 30 days, and you can actually get it extended up to 60 days if you wish. Okay, why do you consider Indonesia as a visit destination? It's a perfect place for budget travelers. All of these countries I'm taking are countries that you could actually travel with without spending so much money. Okay, yeah. So, and again, if you love nature and adventure, then Indonesia is one of those places you should be considering. Yeah, and if you want, you can go to Bali, you can go to Jakarta, or you can go to Lombok. Those are all beautiful places in Thailand where you find guest houses around $10 to $20 per night, and food is very affordable. For a meal in local restaurants, you can call it local warung, which are what they call small restaurant, ranging from $2 to $5, per meal. So you can actually eat like a king, especially if you want to spend about $10 in a meal. Then it means that you can actually eat like a king. There are some benefits, in exploring Thailand, Indonesia rather. Indonesia has many islands and stunning beaches, So if you want to get to one of the best beaches in the world, you should be considering of Indonesia, and make it a popular spot for budget backpackers. So it also connects to other Southeast Asia destinations, including Malaysia and Singapore. Singapore is the country which is 100% developed and a very beautiful country. So if you want to go to Malaysia, if you want to go to Singapore, so you could actually access that from Indonesia without finding it very difficult. And for ferries between Bali and Java, they are very inexpensive and ranges from about $10 to $15 for you to board a ferry. So that is how cheap it is. And number four destination, which you should be considering and where you can get visa free duration for up to 180 days, is in Mexico. Yeah, Mexico is one of those beautiful, countries in America, and I would like to tell you about Mexico a little. So it's one affordable destination in North America. I mean, like the biggest or the most interesting continent. I don't know if I can say that. Yeah, city like Oaxaca, Guadalajara, and Mexico City offer budget lodging for around $10 to $25 per night. This is stunning because couldn't have imagined that in North America you could actually get that much low budget. Yeah, eating out is extremely cheap, and tacos and local dishes cost about $1 to $3 per night per meal, or rather, and a local restaurant may cost up to $4 to $7 per meal. So that makes Mexico one of those great places to go and at budget friendly, plan. So this is great. So I will also want to tell you a little about the benefit of going to Mexico. Mexico is fantastic based for exploring, Central America and the Caribbean, and it connects easily by bus or train to places like Guatemala, Belize, and even Costa Rica. So those are some other part of America that you may want to discover. You can, traveling to the neighboring Guatemala by bus for just about $25 to $40, depending on your departure point. So this shows you that Mexico is also budget friendly. And number five city, I don't know if you can guess, but that is Colombia. Yeah, Colombia is another country that you can actually travel at budget friendly, plan. So for example, you can get a visa free duration for up to 90 days to go to Colombia. That is very great and interesting, right? Yeah, and the question is, why visit Colombia? It's one of the most affordable countries in South America, and cities like Bogota and Medellin, you will find budget accommodation for about $10 to $20 per night. Colombia have delicious food, so if you love meals and you want to try some Colombia cuisine, then you may want to do this, and it's going to cost about $10 to $20 per, so for the accommodation, but for their meal it's going to cost about $3 to $7 per meal. So you can see the accommodation is affordable and meal are affordable, and there are a lot of things to do like coffee, and to do a lot of sightseeing, at a very cost effective plan. Okay, yeah, the benefit includes the excellent gateway to South America, and you can go to by buses or fly to Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, and you can take bus to Medellin in Quito, Ecuador for around $25 to $35. So this a lot. The sixth one will shock you because I don't think you will be thinking about this. The sixth country to explore is Nepal. Yeah, Nepal is just a place you can do with a free visa duration of about 90 days. Okay, visa on arrival for some nationalities. And looking at why to visit Nepal, you should consider adventure. If you're someone who seeks for adventure and a budget traveler, then Nepal is just a good place for you because it's not quite expensive to go to Nepal. Okay, yeah, so our rooms can range from just $5 to $10 per night, and you can get some local food like dal bat. I don't know. This is like soup with rice, and it costs you just about $2 to $4 per meal, and you can get some local coffee around $3 to $5. Local rich Nepal coffee, with some meal, you can get it for about $3 to $5. Yeah, alongside with meals. So there are a lot of benefits like Nepal is cheap and is accessible gateway to the other places like within around the Middle East and also close to Europe, and stuff like that. So you can go to India and you can go to Tibet, from Nepal by bus journey. Then you can also consider going to those places with just about $10 to $20 per bus ticket. Okay, if you just want to go to India, and if you want to go to Tibet for $30 to $40 per bus ticket. Yeah, you can guess the seventh one. The seventh place you may want to visit is Portugal. Yeah, Portugal is just one beautiful place in Europe, and it's just not. You can get a Schengen. Portugal is part of the Schengen, so if you go to Portugal, you're going to be having a Schengen visa, which means you can explore so many countries in one trip if you wish. You can get up to 90 days for some countries on arrival, or even visa free, depending on your nationality. But by some country, you must get a visa before you travel. And why do you want to go to Portugal? Well, it is affordable European destination. And in Portugal, you have places like Libya, Lisbon, and Porto, and they offer very budget, friendly accommodation of within $15 to $30 per night, and the food in local tavern or the street costs you within 5 to 8 USD, and if you also want to book bus, you have very low ticket within Lisbon that you can ride within $1 to $2, for the ticket. So the benefit includes it is a Southern Europe, destination, and it makes an excellent point to travel around Europe with budget flight and train routes being very affordable. And you can explore countries like Spain, France, and even Morocco in North Africa. So you can see that from Europe, you can actually go across Europe and Africa, and you have about so many destinations within the Schengen region to visit. And if you want to go to, Spain from Portugal, it's just a quick, inexpensive, costing you about $20 to $40 per trip. And number 8 is Turkey. Yeah, Turkey you can get up to visa free for up to 90 days within 90 days and up to 180 days depending on your nationality and what you want. Then in Turkey, it's a perfect mix for history, culture, and natural, beauty. It's got everything you may want to do in one piece, and it's very budget friendly with guest houses within $10 to $20 per night, and a traditional Turkey meal costing you about $4 to $8. And you can tell, I can assure you that Turkish cuisine, cuisine is one of the best cuisine you can ever taste in the world. They've got very nice meals and very nice barbecue and a lot of things to do in Turkey. So if you want to try them, like the kebabs is very affordable for about $1 to $3, per a serve, and you can also get a lot of benefit, including them being a bridge between Europe and Asia. Turkey is an Euro-Asia country, so it's just in between Europe and Asia. So you can access places like Greece, Bulgaria, and Georgia just from Turkey. You can also access, you can take a bus from Istanbul to Greece for about $30, so you can see that Turkey is just great, right? Yeah, so number 9 is Serbia. Yeah, Serbia is a place you can get visa duration for up to 90 days on arrival, or even free visa for some people. For Serbia, it's a gem in Eastern Europe. So, these cities, it has cities like Belgrade and Novi Sad, offering you budget friendly about $10 to $20 per night, with local food, which would cost you within $5 to $7 per meal, and so you can actually eat like a king. Yeah, so it's quite cheap, and you can travel to places like Hungary, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, from this place without costing you more than $25 to $40, depending on which country you want to move to. And the last, which I will be telling you, number 10, is, guess what? The Philippines. And for the Philippines, you can actually get a 30 days free visa, extendable to 59 days. Yeah, but just before 60 days, you have to exit. And it's a very beautiful place. And in fact, I used to know the Philippines as a country with the highest number of islands in the world. So that really makes it beautiful. So there are a lot of stunning beaches and islands and natural wonders, which you could also see in Philippines. And guest houses just ranges within $8 to $15 per night, which is very affordable, with Philippine meals ranging within $3 to $6 per meal. And there are a lot of benefits, including seeing very beautiful island in Southeast Asia, and you can travel to nearby destinations like Malaysia and Indonesia, from the Philippines for just running to $40 per trip. So if you want to look at the interconnections, there are a lot of interconnections that makes your trip budget friendly. So you can look at the interconnections if you're going to, like the countries I've spoken about, like within Georgia, you can go from Tbilisi, you can go to Azerbaijan, Baku by bus or train. Thailand, for example, you can go to Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. For Mexico, you can go to places like Central America, by buses, and they are very much affordable. So there are these all interconnection, and if I talk about the Schengen, like if you go to Portugal, you can actually see that you can access most of the Schengen area with train, tube, underground train and stuff like that. So it just makes your life easier. So guys, these are the 10 places that you can visit, okay? And I hope that you take advantage of this and plan your next trip, based on the information you've received. So guys, you can actually do a trip to any of this country budget friendly, and I hope that this will really meet your need. Hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.